Hello yet again to Susan in Hong Kong, to Richard and to my youngest son, Edward, both in England. Richard, the eldest son, has asked me to talk about cars, the cars I've owned. Well, there have been too many and they're too dull to talk about, Richard, except for one which I'm going to talk about. This one is something special, I rather think. And it concerns my time in Africa, since I spent most of my life there. And it concerns 1963, I think it was, when I walked into a garage showroom in Lusaka, armed with a £750 cheque from the grateful Zambian government in order to buy a car. And I went in for a Vauxhall Viva. But in the showroom, there was one car standing in the middle of the showroom, small car, looking very much like a Viva. In fact, it was a German Viva. It was an Opel Kadett. And it was a primrose yellow body with a white roof and white wall tyres. And she looked beautiful, really beautiful. And I fell in love with it. And of course, cut a long story short, I bought it. Now, previously I'd been driving Land Rovers, which were issued so that I could use them privately as well as personal. Such were the perks of Zambia. And I was used to driving in pretty rough conditions. I liked to watch game, I liked to look for snakes, I liked to get into the bush. So I drove into the bush on several occasions with my Land Rover over very, very rough roads. And I'm afraid I treated my dear little Opel the same way. Sometimes bouncing off into the bush to see something that I noticed over in the distance. And one day I drove in to the bush, and as I was driving out, my little Opel Kadett struck a rock on the underside, and it pushed the steering column back in my face about 6 inches. Well, I managed to drive back to my home with it, and I still had money, so I didn't like the car after that, because I don't like cars that have suffered too much damage. So I traded that car in and bought another one. Not an Opel, I bought a Vauxhall. Anyway, the story is about this little Opel. What happened to it? And it should be, this little tale should have a title. Is this my car? And why I say that is because you've seen the show, or a lot of you have seen the show, Top Gear, with a young lad, a young man actually, called Richard Hammond, going under the name of Hamster, nickname of Hamster. Now, and he has bought a car, second hand, for the purpose of racing in the Okavango swamp in Barotseland, Bechuanaland, I'm sorry, Bechuanaland, which is, no, Botswana, I think it's called. Yeah, it is Botswana. Anyway, I saw this and I looked at that car and I thought, that's my car. And it's actually Richard Hammond's favourite car. But I could have sworn it was my car. And I'm going to show a photograph. Maybe Richard Hammond can see it, and he'll realise that it certainly did look like my car. And the period is right, and there can't have been too many. And he bought it in Botswana, or Bechuanaland as I knew it, and it's not a great distance from where I sold my car. I think I sold it in Lusaka, or I'm not quite sure, but it wasn't very far from the Okavango swamps, not too far anyway. So anyway, here it is, and there's my daughter. Where is she? Oh, I can't see her. Oh, I'm not showing it, am I? Or am I? No. I'm not. Ah, there it is. Sorry, there it is. There's my daughter, and there's the car for. Well, if Richard Hammond's watching, there's the car to see, and here's one with its number plate. That's me on the front there, and there's the number plate. And as you can see, it looks very much like that car that took part in that famous race on Top Gear a couple of years or so ago. Anyway, there we are. That's it. See what you think. That's all for now. Bye-bye.